Dear listener, let these words resonate deeply in your heart. Today is not an ordinary day. You were chosen among so many to experience something extraordinary, something that will completely transform the course of your journey. The heavens are in motion, opening doors that previously seemed unreachable. There is a divine convergence happening, uniting spirituality, prosperity, and healing. It is a calling, a unique opportunity to enter a new dimension of grace and abundance that has always been destined for you. Everything you've faced so far, every tear, every weight, every silent prayer, was shaping this moment. There is an invisible force working on your behalf, reorganizing what seemed lost, accelerating what was delayed, bringing life to what seemed dry. The landscape is changing, and you are the centerpiece of this divine work. None of this is by chance. You arrived at this moment because your spirit was ready, because your faith, even in the most difficult moments, was enough to pave the way for the impossible. In the next few moments, signs will begin to emerge. They may be small, subtle, a sudden idea, a door that opens effortlessly, an unexpected encounter, but they will be full of meaning. He who is attentive will perceive the divine voice guiding each step. It is important that you keep your mind alert and your heart in tune, as this is a sacred time. This is not just a motivational text, it is a divine declaration about your life. It is an announcement of what is to come, a confirmation that you are being prepared for something greater, something that transcends the ordinary. What is about to emerge in your life is not just a blessing, it is a transformation, a leap to a new level of existence. It is the manifestation of divine abundance, emotional restoration, and spiritual authority. Where there was scarcity, there will be abundance. Where there was stagnation, acceleration will come. Where there was silence, rivers of grace will spring forth. This is a time to hold with reverence, to allow it to blossom before announcing it to the world. Some blessings need to grow in silence, away from doubtful looks and disbelieving voices. It is in silence that God works more freely, shaping miracles that will soon be visible to everyone. You are not a mere spectator of this event. You are an active participant, the channel through which divine greatness is about to flow. And all of this was prepared specifically for you, who waited patiently, who believed in the promise even when everything seemed lost. Your every tear was counted, every night of doubt was seen, every act of courage in the midst of pain was honored. Nothing you faced was in vain. Now all of this is being multiplied into reward. If you look back, you will see that what seemed like delay was actually preparation. Every obstacle, every apparent rejection, every delay was part of a bigger plan. Just like Joseph, who was betrayed, sold, forgotten, but at the right time was elevated to a position of authority, his story is also being written with the same care. He who began a good work in his life is faithful to complete it. What seemed impossible is already being transformed, but there is something important. Are you ready to receive all this? Is your soul prepared to welcome what the heavens are releasing? Because wealth, true wealth, is not just material. It's living aligned with the divine purpose. It's having the wisdom to manage what others would waste. It's carrying grace and abundance with humility. Remember where you came from, what you faced, the nights you spent in prayer. None of this was in vain. It was preparation. The seeds you planted in pain are about to sprout with overwhelming force. The land that seemed barren is now becoming fertile. God has not forgotten you. The season of invisibility is ending, and what you cultivated in silence will be celebrated in public. Declare now with faith, I believe, I receive, I am ready, because faith activates the heavens and the heavens are already responding. This is the meeting point between promise and fulfillment, between preparation and fulfillment. This is not just a breakthrough, it's a rebirth. Every moment, angels are moving pieces, aligning connections, freeing up resources. What you could not do alone is now being accomplished by divine instruction. Transformation is not just for you, but for those who come after you. The abundance being poured into your life will carry blessings for generations. This is a legacy of faith, prosperity, and service. It's the beginning of something that will multiply the impact of everything you touch. The heavens are just beginning to reveal what was always intended for you. There is a continual movement, a ceaseless flow of grace and provision being released. It's like a river that starts flowing slowly, but as it progresses, it becomes an unstoppable current, carrying everything you need to transform your life completely and irreversibly. Do you notice how, in the silence, God was working? Every moment when it seemed like nothing was happening, in fact, He was molding, aligning, and preparing you for this time. It wasn't delay, it was detail. It wasn't rejection, it was refinement. Just as gold needs to go through fire to be purified, your life also needed this process so that you are now ready to sustain the magnitude of what is to come. Everything that seemed to be against you was, in fact, conspiring in your favor. God took the most difficult situations, the deepest pains, and turned them into essential pieces for the masterpiece that is your life. What was once a source of shame will now be your greatest testimony. The tears you shed, the nights you felt alone, were like seeds watered by your faith, and they are about to produce a bountiful harvest. There is something powerful about recognizing that you are not just being blessed for yourself, but to become a channel of blessing for others. Your life will be a reflection of God's goodness, a living proof that He is faithful to fulfill His promises. But remember, great blessings come with great responsibilities. What will you do with this new abundance? How will you use your elevation to bring light and transformation to others? The heart that remains humble, even in times of prosperity, is one that remains aligned with the divine flow. This is a time to reflect and reaffirm your commitment to your purpose. Never forget where you came from, the lessons you learned, the power of faith that has sustained you this far, because that's what will keep you strong as you move to new levels of achievement. You didn't get here alone. There was a greater force guiding your steps, supporting you in every moment you thought you couldn't take it anymore. Now that same force is bringing new vigor, new enthusiasm, new clarity. There is a divine energy being released, removing barriers, dispelling doubts, and strengthening your resolve. It's like a dawn after a long, dark night. The sun is rising, illuminating areas of your life that were previously hidden in shadow. You begin to see more clearly, feel more deeply, believe more intensely. This is the power of the Holy Spirit moving within you, restoring what has been lost, renewing your strength, and reviving your hope. But at this time, it is essential that you remain aware of the signs around you. They may seem small, but they carry profound messages. It could be an unexpected encounter, a word of encouragement, or even an opportunity that arises where you least expect it. These signs are like beacons, guiding you to the next step, and when the doors start to open, step in with confidence. Don't hesitate, don't doubt. You were prepared for this. The same faith that brought you this far is the faith that will take you forward. Every step you take will be supported by a divine force that never fails, that never abandons, that always provides. What's coming is not just an answer to your prayers, it is an overabundance, something that exceeds your wildest expectations. God doesn't do things halfway. When He moves, He does so completely, surprisingly, gloriously. But remember that while you receive, you are also called to share. Bless as you have been blessed. Serve as you were served, love as you were loved. This is a time of fresh starts, of new possibilities, of dreams being rekindled. Nothing you faced was wasted. Every experience, good or bad, has been used by God to shape you, to prepare you for this moment. Now it's time to move forward, to walk with your head held high, knowing that you are not alone. Declare again with faith, I receive, I believe, I am ready to live everything that was promised to me. And then walk with the certainty that what is to come is much greater than what is left behind. With every step you take, the scenery transforms. The chains that once seemed to bind him now break. Limitations that you believed to be insurmountable dissolve before the divine power that operates in your life. This is the moment when the invisible becomes visible, when promises once distant are now within reach. It's not a coincidence, it's a compliment. Everything was planned perfectly for this moment to arrive. As you move forward, it's important to reflect on the journey that got you here. Each fight, each obstacle overcome, was an essential element in the formation of his strength. When it seemed like everything was against you, God was by your side, whispering words of encouragement, renewing your hope. Now, with every victory you experience, he smiles, because he knew all along that this day would come. Allow yourself to feel the joy that is rising in your heart. It is not a passing happiness, but a deep rejoicing, a celebration of faith rewarded. This is a milestone in your life, a watershed that separates yesterday from tomorrow. The past no longer defines you. He strengthened him, yes, but he no longer limits him. The future is before you, full of possibilities that only God could open. And in this time of transition, pay attention to the way your perception is changing. Seemed impossible now seems accessible. This is what happens when faith takes the place of fear, when the spirit is lifted above circumstances. The words I can't begin to disappear, replaced by I can, I believe, and I am capable. This is a time to act. Procrastination has no place here anymore. Every day, every moment is an opportunity to sow what you want to reap. Remember, the harvest is proportional to the seed. And it's not just what you give, but the intention with which you give. When you act in faith, heaven responds with abundance. When you sow with love, the harvest is always greater than expected. Look around, see the people in your life, see the opportunities that arise. Every person, every situation can be a channel of blessing. Don't underestimate the seemingly casual encounters, the small gestures of kindness, the words spoken sincerely. God often works through the simple to bring about the extraordinary, and as you reap your blessings, remember that they were not given just for your comfort. There is a greater purpose, a call to be light in a world that is often in darkness. You have been equipped to transform, to inspire, to lift others. This is true wealth, not just receiving but multiplying, not just accumulating but sharing. Think about the times when you were at rock bottom, when it felt like no one understood your pain. Now you have the chance to be the hand that extends help, the word that brings comfort, the light that guides others to find their own path. This is legacy. It is eternal impact. When you move in love and generosity, heaven moves with you, multiplying the impact of each act of kindness. Meanwhile, the next stage of your life begins to unfold. Don't be afraid to dream big, to plan boldly. God is not limited, and He does not expect you to live in a limited way. He wants you to prosper, for your life to be a living testimony of His goodness. But remember, prosperity is not just about money. It's peace, it's health, it's restored relationships, it's purpose fulfilled. Allow the Holy Spirit to continue to guide you. In every decision, in every challenge, seek divine wisdom. God is willing to direct you, to reveal paths you didn't even know existed. When you submit to His plan, incredible things begin to happen. And as bright as the present is, God is still just beginning. There is more to be revealed, more to be given, more to be experienced. He is the God of infinite abundance. And with each step of obedience you take, He opens new doors, greater than the ones before.